G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision, round 18 preview today, and we're joined by Danny Daly again. How you going, Danny?
Going well, Richard, yourself, mate?
I'm as flat as a pancake, not because of the Tigers, it's round 18, I've hit the wall. You got to get me up today. The production boys behind camera aren't happy with my form, so you got to give me something. What do you got for me? Anything, doesn't have to be football, just something positive.
Something positive. My son turned 1 last week.
There you go.
That's a positive thing for the week.
Going well?
Yeah, had a good little birthday party. Had a couple of, had about 8 or 9 little kids around, and 6 of them were girls, and he showed some good form early on in his years. 1 year old, he was...
He's huffing about already.
Goes all right. Must take after his uncle, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get down to business then.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do. How is the mood, mate? Seriously, it was a tough weekend. How's the mood in the group this week?
Yeah, look, it was a pretty tough day, as everyone saw. The plane trip on the way home was pretty quiet and sombre, and the sun still came up on Sunday morning, and we all rocked up Monday morning and reviewed the game, and yeah, there's some pretty ordinary stuff in there, but yeah, the mood amongst the boys has been pretty good. They're a pretty young group, as we know, so yeah, it hasn't been too bad, mate.
So what were the main things in the review Monday? Just give us 2 or 3 things that you thought were done right and wrong as well.
Yeah, I think we just, with our ball movement, we weren't probably as sure as what we have been in the past probably 8 or 9 weeks. Even games when we lost, we were moving the ball pretty well at stages throughout the game, but when you got conditions like they were, and I know Gold Coast had the same conditions, but we just probably didn't play the football that we needed to. We probably mucked around with a little bit too much with the wind, and that third quarter when we kicked 2 goals 7, we just started bombing it in from outside 50 and just didn't put enough scoreboard pressure on the Gold Coast side in the last quarter. So that was probably the main thing. But defensively, we weren't too bad, and some of our stuff wasn't too bad, to be honest, but yeah, just some of our ball moving patterns weren't the greatest that they've been all year.
How do you rebuild the self-belief in the group? You know, a few down weeks, guys do start. It's a mental game, footy. Absolutely. How do you rebuild that?
Yeah, it's interesting because the Carlton game, Damien spoke about throwing the tape away and putting it in the bin and moving on after a loss like that, but we really went through the Gold Coast game, spent a lot of time on it, a lot of things that we've done poorly that we've done well over the past. So, yeah, we reviewed that game, but then what we did was Newey, the skipper, got together with Dimmer and myself, and we cut some vision from the Freo game and the North Melbourne game where we played some pretty decent football and moved the ball pretty well. Yeah. And we thought the boys just needed a bit of a spark and just to remember that they actually can play well and that we can do it, especially coming up to a game where we're playing at Etihad Stadium where it's going to be dry conditions and, you know, so we probably just re-emphasise them probably throughout this week that we can actually do it at times. It's just a matter of getting a bit more mature and as you said, just a little bit more mentally stable in the fact that we can do it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get easier. The Cats, a very good team. You know, they had a stiff challenge up in Brisbane on the weekend. You know, they're going to be coming back and we've got to regroup. What do you think is the key against these guys?
Look, I think, and you were up there having a look, so you told me, and Cambo went up and had a look at Geelong as well, and all he came back with was vision of Brownie getting smacked from about 14 different angles, so he showed us nothing on Geelong, by the way, but we got to see that. So it's just basically more about just being more competitive, trying to match them in their contested footy. As you said, the last 3 weeks they've struggled a little bit, so we've had a bit of a look at the Essendon game and then the West Coast game and then last week's game against Brisbane just to see what those sides have done against them. And one thing is we know they like to get their drive from the back half, so we just need to make sure that we've always got some 6 forwards forward to the footy and just try and put as much pressure on there and basically just come out and have a real crack. That's all it's about this week.
Well, it's going to be tough now, obviously, for the rest of the season. Do you have to alter your expectations now? You know, people were talking about finals prematurely, so I believe, but do you alter your expectations at all?
Yeah, we probably do. It was probably something we hadn't really spoken about internally because, as you know better than me, mate, it's a very long season. We knew at some stage that our younger guys would start getting tired and that we'd probably hit a bit of a crest where we'd lose a few games. Yeah. So it hasn't really been anything we've been spoken about. It's just more about... I suppose making sure that each week we turn up and be competitive in the scoreboard to take care of itself and just building on from what we did last year. Yeah. So we haven't really changed our focus in terms of what we had thought because we never really planned to play finals this year anyway. It was just about improvement. Last couple of weeks haven't gone the way we thought they might have, but hopefully over the last 6 games we still might be able to pinch a couple of games, and that gives us 2 or 3 wins more than last year, which is probably what we're aiming for.
Yeah.